all my videos from then on out were D3 college basketball player does this, day in the life of D3 basketball player. Just doing these things that were so niche that were still interesting enough to find out. There's this narrative around Division 3 that never really got any credit. I was doing game day vlogs my senior year, and I did every single video, and I went from 15,000 to 105,000 by the end of the year. We were number 5 in the nation. We had every game documented. We had this crazy viewership because people were watching it as it happened in real time.
Devontae, welcome to the Good Drill Pod. We have Ross here. How are things, man? How are you?
Great, man. I'm good. I'm getting ready for. I'm actually going down to Florida soon. I live in Ohio, but I go back and forth a lot because my dad lives down there. I have other family down there, my brothers, we just got done filming a bunch, so I'm going to go down there and kind of take a little bit of a break. So I'm excited. I love going down.
We're all about skill development here, getting better as a basketball player. So how has your mindset changed from your traditional basketball career to what you're doing today in terms of getting better as a basketball player?
Wow, that's a great question. You were
I
right
only
about
ask the great questions, Devontae. All right.
Okay. So traditional basketball and like growing up playing in the, what's it called? Not a professional setting, but organized basketball rather. I feel like you're always kind of training for the same things, training for more like team stuff. And I feel like now with social media, it's more, it's for me personally, less like team motivated, team oriented, more 1v1, more like ISO. I got to do something at the park, make a show, put on a show or whatever. So training is really like free in a way. I feel like it was so structured at first, and like, I'm still on like somewhat of a schedule and doing certain things, certain drills, but it's not like very clean cut every single day, very similar things. Even like the shot selection when I'm training, I'm taking crazy shots because we're working on 3 dribble, 4 dribble stuff. And so, yeah, just overall, the training aspect has immensely been different. So that's a phenomenal question. I don't think anybody's ever asked me that question.
But do you think that some of the things that you're doing now would have benefited you back then, even though it seems like you should be structured and in your training when you're playing on a structured team, whether that's college or high school, even AU, but a structured team? Do you think that some of the different variations of what you're doing now would have helped you, or not really?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I feel like maybe it's just all I really knew growing up, like certain things, who I was around, who I was being trained by and whatnot. And I don't know, just like with anything, like the more you grow, the more you get older, the more you learn. So I feel like looking back at it, yeah, like for sure there's some things I think I could have done that I do now, but it's just so different. It's so different right now. I guess that's maybe why I keep going back to that question being good, because I really haven't thought about some of the things that over time that I've done or changed in my basketball training lifestyle.
How much better do you feel you are now than when you were a college player?
Oh yeah, I actually feel way more confident. In college, like I feel like I was fighting for my confidence on the court all the time because I started off as a JV basketball player at a D3 level. So that already like took my confidence away. I already knew, everybody wants to go D1 when they're in high school and be able to post that blessed and receive blah 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 post. We always see it. It's such a cliche thing, but it's a cool post for a high school basketball player. So when I went D3, I feel like, oh man, I failed in a way. And then when I was on the JV team, I was like, man, my confidence is shot. So I feel like I said, just fighting for that confidence, and really attest a lot of my teammates for helping me gain that over the years. But in the social media space, it being like creating my own thing and this own flow, like I've been able to build my confidence without having the coaches and all that stuff. So it is completely different. But I think it is confidence driven. I think I'm a lot better now, obviously, but that's like I haven't stopped playing basketball ever since I was done with college. Most people that are playing at that level, they're really done playing basketball. So I'm really grateful to still be able to play continually. And I think just playing over the course of that time has like helped me get a lot better. Just like anybody else, you know, training, hooping a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I feel the same way. There's definitely things that are different about playing on especially like a college team that are so different than anywhere else. It's like you're playing with the same guys every single day,
yeah,
and over time there are relationships and understandings and hierarchy of roles that happen because you're with the same people every single day for hours. You're maybe living with them. You're like, everybody kind of gets a flow of like, okay, you know what, this might be the smart one, but he doesn't get off the bench. This one might be like, he's a good shooter. If he gets hot, he's gonna get the ball, and this guy,
They start
he's our main
labeling.
guy.
They start labeling.
Yeah, they start labeling, and it happens automatically. And the challenge is, I feel like it gets like stuck with you, that label, and it's like, how do you break free of that? You hear stories all the time of players that are really good in AAU but then not good on high school teams. I feel like
yeah,
there has to be kind of like, what is the strategy to overcome that label? And if you want to, if that's something you want to do, you want to expand your role, you want to get better, you want to be a bigger part of your team, that's something that is definitely different now for me than back then, and there would have to be some type of strategy going into it. Can you just walk us through, just real quick, because I don't have a big insight either, is just growing up, high school, and then how you got into college, how you got into what you're doing now with the takeover
yeah.
stuff and all that.
Yeah, man. So I grew up in like a small city named Cuyahoga Falls, called Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. It's really close to Akron, Ohio. Um, and I was always into basketball. I started getting into basketball around then a lot. I really wanted to play in college, whatever you guys just heard. I really wanted to play D1. Ended up, I was all right for my team, whatever, but I still loved basketball and I knew I wanted to play at the next level. So I was constantly reaching out to schools, like sending my tapes and stuff, just really trying to put my name out there because I knew I wanted to play college basketball. And I went to this summer camp at the University of Mount Union, a small school in Alliance, Ohio, a small D3 school, really known for football. They've won a lot of national championships at the D3 level for football. Small school, 2,500 students maybe, and I played really well at the summer camp. Really liked the campus. Coach was like basically recruiting me for a couple games, but ended up going to Mount. Like I said, JV freshman year, and then kind of worked my way up a little bit. There were two people that got injured at the end of my freshman year, and there was a spot that kind of opened up on the varsity squad. I was playing really good on the JV team. I was averaging like a triple double for like 7 straight games, and it was a perfect moment. And I went in, I played very well, and then I played the next like 6 games that were left in the rest of that season. And then my sophomore and junior year, I ended up starting for the team. So there was like a crazy leap between my freshman year and my sophomore year, but I was just in the gym relentlessly. I fell in love with it because my teammate at the time, my roommate, sorry, was the starting point guard, and he was a freshman as well. His name was Nathan. He was my rival in high school, my rival all my life, and then we ended up being teammates in college. It's crazy. But he was super motivating to me, and I just watched him a lot. I watched how religiously he was in the gym and I was like, okay, I see the hours being spent in the gym. I see the outcome of it. And so I started going to the gym a lot more too. And at the time, he was putting me on to some YouTubers. Like, hey, do you know who Casey Neistat is? Do you guys know who that is, by the way?
I've actually heard you talk about him, but I have no idea who that
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Casey's a vlogger in New York City, just a really good storyteller. And Nathan put me onto his videos, and I just fell in love with that. And I changed my major at that time because we had an integrated media major at the school. So was like, if I change my major, I can be around a bunch of these cameras. I'm like, man, this dude's documenting his life. He's 36 in New York City riding skateboards, and I have nothing to do with any of that. And I'm interested. I'm like, I have an interesting life as a college basketball student. I got to document this. And at first I didn't know how or what ways, I didn't know the answer. I didn't get on YouTube because I'm like, that's it. Got on YouTube because I was like really in love with editing and making videos and just the storytelling. And I was just doing random vlogs. I did like 70, 80 in a row, daily vlogs. And nothing really hit. I had like maybe 500 subscribers at the time. And then I did a random video that was day in the life of a D3 basketball player. And it did like 20K views in a couple days. And I was like, this is amazing. You know, I have to, keep this narrative a little bit. So I did another one. It was like, how good do you have to be in high school to go D3? Because it's like, interesting question. It was like a 6-minute video. I was standing in my college apartment, like burping, like it's just like a weird video, but it went crazy. And I just explained like what my talent level was in high school to make it D3, and it did like 185K views in a couple days. And that's when I gained like 5,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers maybe.
Wait,
And
just sticking on that real quick. I'm in my head right now. I feel like as somebody that's making a lot of content, we both make a lot of content. Combo is making content. I watch and I'm looking and I'm seeing, and I feel, at least in my bubble, there's such a stagnation of things, and there's almost like people trying to, including myself, 100%, trying to repeat what works. And I'm thinking about what has worked. What are the things that I've done that's doing well, the things that people have resonated with, the things that other people are posting that people are resonating with. And I feel like my brain is seeing that, and I'm also doing that. But what you're saying, it's like when you made that video, when you first make content, it's like you have no baggage. You have no baggage of like, this is my process. This is the shit I've done. This is like how I make content. You have no baggage. So it's like you just go in, you only know how to tell a story that's real. That's the only thing you have. Like you don't have anything else. You don't have a fake story. You don't have a story you used to tell.
I'm sure that video was most authentic to yourself out of all the videos, right?
yeah, I've never heard it explained better in my life than the way that you just said it. Because I feel like anytime anybody ever asks me about maybe growing on social media or understanding social media, I always go back to differentiating yourself from the crowd and like creating that niche. And I feel like with what you're saying, that's exactly what it was. So yeah, I mean, that video, it clicked. That's when I was like, okay, it makes sense. And that's not me just being like, oh, like I fucking figured it out. All my videos from, sorry, someone's calling me.
There you go.
All my videos from then on out were D3 college basketball player does this, day in the life of D3 basketball player, tour of D3 this, D3 basketball player home game. What does the inside of a Division 3 basketball player's cafeteria look like? What's the day in the, like just doing these things that were so niche that were still interesting enough to find out like, oh man, like there's this narrative around Division 3 that never really got any credit. So then showing the day of the life or the inside documented life of a basketball player at that level, I felt like kind of made sense, and it started to grow an audience. Fast forward, I was doing game day vlogs my senior year, and I did every single video, and I went from 15,000 to 105,000 by the end of the year, or the end of the season. I started the season at 15,000, and a couple months later at 106,000 is when the season ended. But that was 2020, COVID year. We were number 5 in the nation. We had every game documented. We had this crazy viewership because people were watching it as it happened in real time. And then COVID ended our season, and we were projected to win the national championship for D3, everything documented. Like, it was just a crazy storyline. And then heartbreaker, no closure, season's done. That's the end of college basketball. And that's when I went into a little, slight panic about what am I going to do? Because my channel was just completely derived around D3 college basketball player, blah, 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 blah. And you can either plateau and figure it out and just be done, or you can kind of innovate and try and find that next thing. And you guys know, as creators, as well as anybody, every few years, the algorithm changes a little bit. People get more interested in certain things. And so I didn't understand that yet. This is the next thing I didn't understand. And I feel like in all steps of social media so far, there's things that like just kind of click and make sense. But so when I went down to sorry, I'm jumbling my words. After our season was ended, I moved to Florida, and fast forward, I posted a park video, and it did like 2 million views or 1.5 million views. And in those 5 days, I went from like 115,000 subs to like 270K. And then we were like, all right, let's just go around and post these a bunch. So we just did pickup basketball, mic'd up, and then that's when the tour idea happened. So then we went on tour. I went on tour from Florida to LA in an RV. We wrapped it and like we just did these crazy park videos, and they were taking off. And we did that for like 2 years straight, just on tour. And over the course of time, there were a bunch of basketball players that were really good at these parks. Like some people would come out and we play against them, and it's like, holy shit, like these people just either need more recognition, need shine, stop playing basketball, got into the wrong things at the wrong time. Like it's people that just don't make it that could have played pro, could have played in college, and we started to see that. And the more the fans watch these, the more they're like, man, we should see so and so go with you to this park. And then we started the teams and blah blah blah. Like a lot of what it's trickled into is really like a community, an online basketball community in the YouTube space. And I'm not the only person responsible for that. There's so many different basketball communities, and that's the beautiful part about this whole online basketball culture. But yeah, now the next wave is the next chapter, but I'm sure we'll get to that. I was trying to keep it brief, but that's like an explanation of the story of how everything has kind of come to so far.
Yeah. But going back to, do you know who Troy Hornbeck is? I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
He's the Road to D1 kid.
Yeah.
He's
Okay,
on the
sure.
OT now.
Yes.
So it's like he did the Road to D1. Zero did it first. That's the first person I saw do it. Zero Bounds. He did Road to D1 or Journey to become a Division One basketball player, whatever. And when he did it, when Zero did it, I remember when he was doing it, and I've never talked to him before, but I remember when he was doing it, and it was profound when he started doing it, and it was like, I haven't seen this yet. And it was like that type of vibe with, it was a vlog, and it was documenting, and something that he's really good at is just like, he doesn't try to portray something, he just tries to say, like, this is what it is, this is what it's about. I think similarly with Troy. But then you see other people that try to do that journey, and because it seems like it seems very desirable, if like for somebody like me, if I was able to do that, it seems desirable to do because it's an automatic entrance into authenticity in content. But there's still people that I watch their journeys, and it just, even though they're on day 5,492, I still don't buy it. There's something about it where it still doesn't feel the same. If you've noticed that, like, have you noticed that? And what do you think the difference is between something like what you did, something that Zero and Troy did, versus what other people are doing with a journey or a vlog?
Bro, you guys are amazing at this.
I'm not
you.
good. I'm terrible. I just osmosis.
No, I mean, like, it's just like, I feel like this is valuable conversation for people out there that are listening that might genuinely be like, interested in this type of
But
stuff.
like
For real.
the meta of this whole thing is that this question is coming from me I'm trying to, like, that's what it is. It's coming from a place of, it's not a pulled from, oh, I have to ask this question, that question. I want to know what you think.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why
I
it's
mean,
a
I
good question.
you guys think about the same thing because I feel like ultimately, for somebody that might be on like day 2,500, it is. I've always believed in the whole like document over create, and I feel like for them it's more create over document. You know who Gary V is? Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He always says document over create. And I feel like there's a slight misunderstanding with people that's like, okay, bet I'm just going to document everything and put out as much stuff, but they're creating the things that they're trying to document. And I feel like the documentation comes from that authenticity you get in documenting your life, not what you may have seen somebody else portray. The problem with people some days or sometimes in the social media world and why it's hard for them to maybe grow that authentic audience is because they see what works for other people, like you said, and they try and replicate it, and it just doesn't feel like their own. Like there's ways to make it their own. You just have to really figure it out. And to answer your question, I think for somebody out there, like, differentiate yourself from the crowd, find your niche. Like I was saying earlier, it's definitely not easy, but I mean, what do you think, honestly?
I want to ask you, you know about the stigmas around Division III basketball better than anybody, right? Did you feel like you were being vulnerable when you put out that content about D3 basketball? Like, oh, were you skeptical about putting it out? Were you like, maybe I shouldn't do this?
No, because like I mean, we're already at the D3 level,
Yeah.
you know, and I feel like a lot of Division III basketball players, if you ask them, they understand the talent level at the D3 level is still phenomenal, undersized, maybe slightly more unathletic, but
Right.
like skill development, the shooting ability, there's different things that I feel like the D3 level works on to keep a faster paced game, you know what I mean? Like obviously the size difference in a major Division I school and a D3 school, like
I mean,
you
I think we see this in upsets even at the D1 level, right? You see like the smaller Division I school just playing quicker, faster, and beating the major schools sometimes. Like they do certain things better.
Of course. I mean, we're talking about a game of twos and threes here, you know?
Right, right.
But yeah, man, I mean, I honestly don't think I was really ever worried. Now, I don't necessarily remember too much. I would love to go back and kind of watch some of that. I actually haven't gone back and watched that season yet or any of that stuff.
It's hard to go back when you're working so much on the day to day what you're doing, right? Yeah, it is hard to go
Right?
back.
It's just a part of the story, bro. But I definitely do want to go back and watch it. But genuinely, my thought right now is just like I don't think that I really cared about what people thought because it was so interesting to me and it was fun, man. Like making these videos was fun, and I genuinely really gave a fuck about the production and the storytelling. And I feel like people were way more connected with the character development that I was focused on. Like there were teammates on my team that people wanted to see in the next videos and wanted to see how they performed. It wasn't just about me, you know. My channel feels like it really never feels like it was just solely about me.
Right. Yeah.
There's always been characters, there's always been basketball players, but I've always been the one producing it, you know, filming, coming up with the ideas like with my boys and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really like cinematography and production. I feel like that had a lot to do with me not really caring too much about people.
I could see the story. I could see the storytelling in what you do. Like you'll even show your missed shots. You know, you'll show the flow of the game. I think that's really important, and I think it helps everything because everybody. I mean, I never miss shots on Instagram. I got to be honest with you.
Dude, I don't know, man. I need to get back into more storytelling. I feel like that's where YouTube's dipping back into. Like the more, like I was just talking about earlier, like shit changes so much, and I feel like we're going into this long form era, where maybe like it won't be the same sort of documentation vlog style stuff, but I feel like the longer stuff, more storytelling, like that's where I feel like we're going with this. And then people are obviously making the short form out of it, so you kind of
Yeah.
get the best of both worlds. But yeah.
Yeah, something that if I ever get in a rut, back to what you were throwing the question back at us. If I ever get into a rut with what I'm doing, and I feel like I'm just lost in just the process, and I'm just trying to like check the box of like, all right, I got to do it like this. This is this. I really try to say, okay, you know what? I have this raw material, whatever it is, whether it's me training in the gym, training players in the gym, myself on the court, whatever, something I saw on Instagram, NBA, like I have this raw thing. And now all I'm going to do, I'm going to eliminate all of the types of ways I could put this together. I'm just going to make something good. I'm just going to make something like my intention is to make, like back to what you're saying, you really wanted to do a good job from the production level. Like that's what you wanted to do. Like you weren't focused on this person thinking this or oh, how is this going to represent this? You were focused on making it good. And I feel like there's so many different ways to win. You could win on high production. You could win on saying something that's profound. Like ideas can be profound, but also production can be profound. Who's that dude? The Movement by David dude. He's like stretches and he's like whatever. Like I don't think what he's saying is profound, but the way he transitions and he's outside and it's so people don't understand the detail that can go into production and actually videoing something and how to make it transition. Like all right, I'm watching this. Where do my eyes go the entire time and being obsessed over that? And there's so many ways to win. And it's just like, all right, take all this out. It's like, how can I just make something good? And it could be a whole freaking story. Like this is the story. I've a trillion ideas like that, but it's just like, what is good? What's something that's good to me? And then I'm going to go put that out. I like that.
Yeah, no,
Which seems
100%.
simple. It's like lack of direction, but that's the direction. Like that's what you got to do. It's like it seems so simple. It seems so obvious. Yeah, I want to make something good, but it's like, yeah, you got to make something good. Like go make something good.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right, bro. I mean, again, hit the nail on the head with that. Like I don't even know how to follow that up.
Yeah. So switching gears a little bit. So about break down a little bit what you do with the takeover stuff, the park takeovers. Like how does that, what's like the behind the scenes of that? Like how do you decide, oh, we're going to this park, we're going to do this thing? Like what if there's people there? Like there's I know nothing. Like I just see like a trillion people on the sidelines, like all these people around. Like what is the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, have you ever hooped at the park? Like, you ever just gone to hoop at the park before?
Of course.
Right. So it's like that feeling and trying to portray that in a completely different light. So taking this thing that everybody knows, hooping at the park, everybody's done, like you've done it, everybody's done it if you're a hooper, and kind of making it look different online and having that energy. But, when we decide to do a park run and we want to do like a massive crowd or something, it's always trying to be like as authentic as possible, where we just like I try and always connect with like a pro league or like a men's league or something out in some area that knows a lot of the people that just like hoop in the area. Or I'll try and hit up like hoopers on some D1 teams or high school teams or any NBA guys that might know some parks in certain areas. Post on my story like, yo, I'm planning on going out to blah, blah, blah. What park should we go to? That always is kind of how we figure out where to go.
Do you ever run into issues just popping up to people's cities? Like we know like checking in is a big thing, right? Like people have to do that at times in certain places, but do you ever run into issues just like popping in people's cities and hooping?
I feel like anybody that's going to come out for one of our things, for the most part, I wouldn't say is a fan, but knows what we do, knows our intentions.
Right.
Our intentions are very good when we go out there. It's to like highlight the best hoopers in your city.
Right,
it's
right.
to put on a show for the fans. Like it's always family friendly. We're not promoting, like, obviously there's some toxicity, but that's the basketball, that's the competitive spirit. There's some pushing, there's some fouling, there's some bullshit here, there's some bullshit there, but at the end of the day, our intentions are to go to that park, drop a bomb on the community in a very positive way, and just do something good in the area, make a video out of it, and then they get to go back and watch it. And it just is like, I feel like it's wins all the way around. But I don't really think we've run into any issues and like, you got to check in with me to come over here. I've really never had any issues.
Are you bringing people there? Like how many people are you bringing there as far as hoopers?
Man, it's so different. Like when we were on tour, we had security and we had the tour bus and we had 4 or 5 hoopers with us all the time. So it's like things are just different now because we're not on tour. But like sometimes I'll just be like, I'll get a message or something and there's like a bunch of people that respond in an area and they're like, you got to come out here, and then it just makes sense, Hey, we're going out to blah blah blah. Make sure you guys pop out, or I'll just go. Sometimes I go myself. But it just varies from time to time. Depends where I'm going. Depends on who's close, who's free. I hoop with a lot of people that have like kind of built their own character inside of my videos and obviously like on their own platforms too. So it really just depends. Who's free, who wants to go, what's it looking like, what makes sense. Like if we want to do like a shifty hoopers versus park hoopers, or like the shiftiest basketball players online versus park hoopers, we'll make sure to hit up the people that move super shifty for, not just the video's sake, the title of the thumbnail, but just going out and just making a good video and hooping with people, trying to be authentic, just hooping at the park, man.
Do you think people mistakenly label you as just a hooper? Like when people think you like, oh, he's just a good hooper, they don't realize how much editing goes into it and production. Like you went to school for this.
Yeah, no, I have a degree in integrated media,
Right.
my business, and like this is stuff that I actually was consistently doing for 4 years while I was playing in college. So I was
Right.
learning some stuff. And I was surrounded by the free equipment. So it's like, yes, I learned it. But yeah, I think so. I mean, all I ever put out is stuff of me hooping. So why would anybody really think like I'm even editing? Like I
Right.
go through and make the final edits on everything that go out still. And I just feel like it's just something I enjoy doing.
What's
But
some things that you would want to talk about if you can just if like you didn't have to worry about anything else and you just like no you had $1 trillion in the bank and you could talk about whatever you want, what would you talk about?
what do you mean?
What would you do if you had $1 trillion but you still were making content? What would be the things that you would at least try in your content?
Well, honestly, like I really do love this stuff. I feel like there's so many people that I built a relationship with that
Yeah.
I wish I could help even more in certain ways. And I just feel like with all the money in the world, I would just try and do what we're doing and make it bigger. So it's just a bigger space for people to commit to basketball forever. I feel like there's people that deserve to like have big games, big 1v1 games and whatnot. But the next chapter is a platform me and some of my boys have built. Scotty Weaver is the founder of Next Chapter, and I am one of the owners as a part of Next Chapter. And it's a platform for basketball players. It's something that was built on the backs of people that were a part of building the basketball community in YouTube. But shit, man, I would deploy all the money I could into that because it's going to be one of the biggest basketball platforms in the world. I don't know. I really don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, to answer
It
your question.
sounds like, based on your answer to that question, that is just the goal, and there's no timeline.
Next chapter. Yeah, I mean,
Good.
ultimately, we want to make the Next Chapter the UFC of 1v1 basketball, if you will. Obviously,
like
we want to, but you look at the UFC, it's only 20, 25 years old. Like if you look it up and when was the UFC founded or bought and it became actual ultimate fighting champion. It's only 20, 25 years old and it's a multi-billion-dollar company, but it's because they innovated something that was working well without disrupting what was working well. And I say that being boxing. Boxing was one of the only combat sports out there that was pay-per-view. You have main cards, you have main events, you have the storytelling, the documentation, the trash talk, the skill, the talent. You have everything you need to make this perfect matchup happen, and everyone just gets to sit and watch and enjoy and see who wins and see who comes out on top, see who's victorious, and multiple people that are good get to keep climbing this ladder. So the formula's already there, and nobody does it in the basketball world. People have tried, but I think there's a very specific way that you have to do it, and I think that we're on our way to doing it the right way for the people that are participating. And I think that, going back to what I was saying, when UFC came around, they innovated boxing. It was no longer just like boxing, it was mixed martial arts. You could do so much more, and it was just entertaining. They took the internet by storm because that was like when the internet was first popping this wave. So now it feels like very similar possibilities with basketball and social media right now. But yes, we have our first pay-per-view coming up, our first ever live stream for the Next Chapter. And I'm just excited about it because it's going to be a way to like put on a show. 5 1v1 matchups, 5 of like the biggest 1v1 matchups.
What are the rules in your league?
The rules? So it is 2s and 3s.
Okay.
So we want it, and games go to 30. So it's a 1v1, 2s and 3s game going to 30. If you get fouled on a shot, you shoot a free throw worth 1 point. If you make the free throw, you get the ball back. If you miss the free throw, you change possessions. And this way it keeps the flow of the game, and it also keeps the defender honest. because in a lot of 1v1 basketball can get nasty, especially in our scene. Like, there's different realms of basketball, and each one is respected. You've got like the trenches, like people always go like the trenches and the hood vibe, you know what I mean? Like, that is an environment that's fun to play in, that is respected and deserves respect, because you've got these people that are a little too close on the sideline, whatever, they're 1v1 and it's good energy. But we're trying to go on the professional side, and I feel like it just keeps the flow of it with the foul count. You know, you foul somebody on a jumper, just like in a real game, they'll go into the line. You don't want to foul on defense. Let's see you sit down and really play some good defense.
Shot clock, dribble max, anything like that?
No shot clock, and there's a 4 dribble max.
I like that.
The reason we did 4 is because 2 is not enough. 4 is enough to really show us what you got in your bag.
Yeah.
And 3 is just done everywhere. So by doing 4, you got to just already innovated by the slightest bit, just changing the dribble count.
Yeah, I
and
think that's perfect. I think that's the perfect number for sure.
It's fun because, like, when you see somebody that's really good at using 4 dribbles, their pacing's amazing. Their 1v1 play style is so fun to watch. I think of there's a guy out there named Isote that I hoop with. He hoops on the Next Chapter a lot, and he's just got like ridiculous pace. If you guys get time, just watch a few clips. Like, I think you'll like it. But he's good with his 4 dribbles. But then there's also people that don't really use 4 dribbles, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard to guard those people because it's deceptive. You know, you get to that 2 or 3 and that hang dribble, and they're a good shooter, they could just give you a drop hezzy and get, you know, another bucket. So I think it's really like evolving the game in a way, doing the 4 dribbles.
I like 1v1 too.
I think, different is good too. You always talk about different, like going for it, even to work on your game, going 4 dribbles sometimes, going 1 dribble sometimes, going from half court with 5 dribbles sometimes. I can only score on my right sometimes. I think that's a great way to work on your game as well.
I think there's so many people that when they think about it feels like another obvious thing, but there's so many people that think about basketball and they'll watch NBA or they'll watch college, which is a 5-on-5 game with 3 refs, 2 refs. But when they're actually playing, like, what do most people do when they're playing basketball competitively is they're playing one-on-one. Like, most of the time spent playing competitive basketball is one-on-one basketball, probably with your sibling, one-on-one. Like, most of the time. Like, probably.
Well, it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining to watch because it feels like a boxing match.
Yes.
Feels like one-on-one. You're on an island.
Yeah. I think all of us growing up, like, we remember those times that 2 people got into an argument and started playing one-on-one. Like, that was some of the biggest energy we'll ever remember, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we remember.
So entertaining.
Yeah.
It really is so, and it's fun to play one-on-one.
It is.
And it's something that is accessible.
Yeah.
You need 2 people.
That's the reason I know this space is going to blow up.
Right.
Even more. Because, like I said, everything's already there. It just has to be done right. And I think that the people participating need to be taken care of the right way. And like the NBA, like, I genuinely believe the Next Chapter will be as big as the NBA. I know that that's crazy to say, but we're a year and a half old. We're about to do our first pay-per-view. And we've already got interest of some high-level professional basketball players, and included. People want to come out and show their bag. And I think the more trust we get and the more money we're able to deploy to people for playing in one game, like, we're talking about possibility this upcoming February of our first one of one person being able to generate $100,000 by themselves for playing one basketball game, one night. It might take them 30 minutes. Obviously, there's preparation over the course of some months, training, whatever, but those are like serious numbers, and we're talking social media YouTubers. We're not talking NBA guys. What if we get to a point 5 years from now where there's enough money to pay 2 people in the NBA that people really want to see play 1v1? They play for $1 million. They get a guaranteed bag. It's a live stream. It's like, this stuff is very possible.
Yeah.
100%.
I think actually what you're doing is going to spearhead the NBA and the Olympics to have a one-on-one competition.
I hope so. And I believe so. I do.
Yeah.
I know the talk has already been in the realm, and obviously, but I just want to popularize it in a different way, not for us to be like, look what we did, but so people can genuinely make this a fucking living because there's so much money that's like possible in this for people, and it's entertaining shit. Everybody loves 1v1
Right,
basketball,
right.
you
Yeah.
know?
The thing about the NBA that is tough is that they're actually, in my opinion, they're actually good at media. They're actually good.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
like it seemed like there's a lot of big players that they're not good. They suck. They're not good. Like, but NBA, they're dominant.
Mhm.
They're dominant on social
Yeah,
media. They're dominant. Like
they're
NFL,
all-
like I don't know about NFL. I don't know about all the like the NBA is good.
yeah, the NBA has it, and there's no competing with them. I'm not trying to say like we're trying to be as big as the
No,
NBA,
I'm not saying that.
wash them out or nothing. We got so much respect for them, and like we're still this YouTube channel. We're just looking to grow.
Look at
But
you.
yeah,
You're even media trained. Look at you.
sorry,
You're even media trained. That was a great answer.
got to be on their side, man.
Nah, I'm just messing with you, bro.
Wipe us out one day. No,
You know what I want-
think it's super
Go ahead, go ahead.
unique. I think it's super unique though, bro. Like I think they crush it, you know, and yeah, I don't remember. I don't even know what I was talking about, but
So,
Yeah.
you're on the ground level, you're touring, you're going from city to city, and this is an age-old debate. But from your perspective, which part of the country, which city, which state has the best hoopers?
oh my goodness, bro, I fucking hate this question because I genuinely never know the answer. But shit.
You know the answer.
Well, that's tough because like I play basketball in different parts of the entire world for different reasons. Like if I'm playing in a next chapter event, it's 1v1. I'm playing one person, so it's hard to judge the whole city or town off of that one person. If I go out for a park run, it's mainly like people that watch. Yeah, we get some really good hoopers that come out, but we don't get like the studs, the 5-star high schoolers that come out to play. Like we get the best of the city's men's league teams and like some people that are good at park basketball, good at pickup basketball. So it's just tough to say.
So, no, from your perspective, from the park hoopers only,
Okay,
from what
from
you
the park,
saw.
Philly was pretty good. Philadelphia,
Okay.
Philly was really good because in that park environment, you got to be physical, and they know how to like play the skill game and get a bucket, but also like throw you off of being really physical. And yeah, I walked out of there. I think we played like 7 games. I think we won like one of them, and
Wow.
they were really good over there. It's just fun. Detroit for a next chapter event. I know you asked about. I know you said Park, but Detroit was pretty good. Richmond, Virginia was pretty good. Played against Rob Dillingham in Charlotte for a park run like 2 or 3 years ago, and that was when they were like. I just said we don't play 5-star high school players, but you know what I mean. Like that we don't come across that very often. So Charlotte, I'd say like Charlotte, North Carolina, and Philadelphia. I know Scar and Cam. If you guys are watching this, you guys are gonna send this to me. Some of the guys I hoop with.
You don't put New York in there?
New York's tough. But
I had to
New
ask
York-
him.
For some
That's
reason,
what I'm saying,
I don't care. New York sucks.
What are you?
They're terrible.
You got to relax.
you don't like New York City?
No, I do. They're trash. It used to be good.
Nah, it's
There's
good. It's
a
good
lot of
hoopers.
trash.
You know what it is? A lot of the good hoopers leave and go to prep school. They go different places.
Yeah, to the better players.
Can't do that.
What is I was looking at your content on your page on your personal Instagram, and then I was looking at next chapter content. Like just from back to content stuff. At least from what I saw that you were doing a lot of like two thing carousels with the thumbnail and then the video after that. And you don't do that a lot on your page. Is there a strategy, like how much focus do you go on short form content for your personal profile and short form for next chapter versus long form for everything you do? Like how much focus?
That's a great question too.
Yeah.
I actually like my stuff is slightly separate on like the business side and like who's on the team. So for next chapter, like there's a team of people that are kind of posting for us and like they're really good at what they do. Like our team is phenomenal at what they do. And on my side, it really is pretty personal. It's like I want it to feel like it's me behind my phone posting. I feel like for next chapter, it makes sense if there's somebody that is really good at the social media. So it's like, it's a creator versus a platform. You know what I mean? So it's hard. I'm not saying like we can't compare the two, but I feel like there's a purposeful reason behind it being different. I don't focus an absurd amount on short form as much as I maybe should have, like clips and whatnot. But I really want to start to get into the day one, day two, day three, but in the training realm, actually, just because I want to show more of my life in that light because I am in the gym right now. So, you'll see some short form stuff coming up here, I guess. But the long form, I really do like focusing on for YouTube. Um, but trying to key in on videos that have a chance of hitting like a million every time. So it's almost hit or miss. Like the Dwight Howard one, like we know like sneaking Dwight Howard into a park run, things that maybe have never been done before, and you see the title and thumbnail and you're like, there's no way they did this. Not always possible to get a video or it's like a title and thumbnail like that. Like there's obviously, we have brand partnerships. We have to get a certain amount of videos out every single month and whatnot. And it's like, it's hard to capitalize on just nailing it every single time. Not impossible, but difficult.
What's that
So it's
process? What's that like where do you start? Like our YouTube sucks. We have a plaque back here and
yeah,
we have that plaque. We didn't do anything. We don't do anything. We post shorts and our guy, one of our guys literally repost app from Instagram and just puts it on YouTube, and that's why we're doing whatever. We show up. Gabe behind the camera. Gabe that sits here. We have some VAs that do some work on just like the editing, but we literally show up for anything long form. Pretty much like maybe max 5 to 7 minutes prep, and we go in and talk about something training wise, and we know that for us it's more about like what's the conversion on it, how do we get people to our app, how do we get players to our training app and our community.
yeah.
And it's like for that to happen, we think that long form can be good, we think that YouTube can be way better, but it's just like so like everything is about what we do short form on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But
I get that.
we everybody says it, and it just makes sense. If you're getting more watch time on a longer form post, like it'll just kind of congregate the attention they have on you, and then they'll go by and whatever. But what is like a brief process? Like you're trying to all right, like this is how I'm gonna make something go. And I agree with that, by the way. I post 900 times a day, and I shouldn't, but it's just like an addiction at this point. And I think that there's way more upside of focusing on once you're good, once you have some signal of what's going on, that the quality just can freaking outperform any amount of if it's really good, it can just go crazy. And if you can focus enough and you're good enough to focus on one thing instead of doing a bunch of things, one thing really well, it'll outperform 100, 200x something like anything else that you do. So what is that process of like, I'm going to go make this hit?
Bro, I think a lot of the videos that I do for my channel that have like done very well, that have I feel like a good title, a good thumbnail, a good idea, a good story to it, and like starts with a voiceover and has some good music. I feel like everything's always kind of just been like an idea that was thought of, or like an idea that maybe was bounced off of something else that I've seen. So it's kind of, I feel like something like sneaking a college basketball team into a park run kind of goes hand in hand with what I know has done well with my videos before. It's not the same. It's not like, all right, we've already seen this, but it's just like, all right, what college team, who's on the college team, how well do they do? How
It
well
leads
does
to
this-
curiosity, maybe. Leads to
Sorry?
curiosity, maybe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's always what it is.
Yeah.
Like secretly wearing spring-loaded shoes against pro hoopers.
Oh,
And like
tough.
doing a thumbnail where it looks like I'm dunking on a pro, and I point an arrow to this spring-loaded shoes, and I just like Photoshop myself a little bit higher on the rim, and then they click it, and instantly it's like, these are spring-loaded shoes. So it's like they're getting what they're clicking on the video for right away, and maybe they've never seen it like that, or they've never seen something like that. And there's a guy out there named DC Heat who's in the basketball world on YouTube as well, who's so smart, so good at the algorithm.
What's his name?
DC Heat. He's been online for like
DC
10 plus
Heat?
years. Yeah, his name's Aiden. He's been like he was a creator forever. He's maybe only like 23 or 24. He started YouTube when he was like 12 or something.
Jeez.
And I mean, he's starting to really understand the algorithm, and it's getting scary. His editing is amazing. Like, I just give so much credit to what they do because it's just such good work. But yeah, like his titles, his thumbnails, all of that. I would say though, I wouldn't go into a long form video if you don't know what the title and thumbnail is going to be already.
Wow.
Because then you know you can form that story. Like, obviously for us, like something crazy happens at the park and someone gets dunked on after getting broken. Like, we can do a side by side of them getting broken and then like a arrow of them getting dunked on. Those are spontaneous moments that happen. But maybe we went to the park to film something like secretly lowering the hoops before the night before the park run, and doing like we've done that before, where we secretly lowered the hoops on park hoopers. And so we went the night before, lowered them to like 9 something, and played on that end and did the dunking stuff. But yeah, I mean, knowing your title and thumbnail and your storyline going into a long form video can help the success rate of that video so much more. And so like for next chapter, like we are posting a lot of long form. We don't always know the title and thumbnail, but we have an idea, obviously. But this upcoming season, we're posting specific thumbnails of like player cards on the side just to see, but I don't know. That's what I would say. I would maybe take into account like the process, really.
That's great stuff. That's great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See what I do? I get free tips and tricks. If you want any
Oh,
free
wow.
tips and tricks.
You learn a lot
This
as
is
a
all stuff
podcaster.
that I feel like you want to like learn over time, but then also learn from other people just saying it. Like, I'm just somebody that's repeating something that maybe has worked for me off of what somebody else has said on another podcast that I've watched, like this. There's so much information out there. I feel like a lot of it's just execution. You either talk about it or you fucking do it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Massive.
definitely.
Yeah. It's just like for us, it's like we do, but it's there's just like how are we gonna get to where we want to go, and is it figuring out YouTube, or is it just there's so many things that we need to do.
It's tough to figure it out. Like, I can say all this stuff, but to be honest, like, I genuinely don't have it figured out at all right now. That's why I was just telling you a minute ago, like, I think the algorithm's going in a long form way, and I'm looking up videos and like, where's the algorithm going, trying to learn and teach myself, because 2 months ago I had 3 videos that did 1.3, 1.7, 1.5, and numbers alone, like, I love every video we put out. But it's always interesting to see the trajectory and the possibility of what the idea was, seeing it formulate and seeing how well it does. But like, even right now, I posted a video 4 days ago and it's at like 60K. So seeing the difference between like certain things, different time frames when it's posted, YouTube is specific, bro. And like, nobody really has it figured out. And I think at the end of the day, like, definitely give yourself some credit. Just think of a good idea, think of a good idea, put it together really well, get a good title and thumbnail. And it's like, feels like simple math from there.
Control what you could control.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was listening to Gary yesterday on his live. He's been doing like the live things, and he's a nut. He's a clown. He's like, he has like 30 people on the live. Like, he has nobody on the live. He just goes crazy. And he was talking about testing, and I didn't know he did this because he's posting a lot of people on Instagram right now. They're going 1 to 2 times a day. I go 4 to 7 times a day, and that's how I roll, and I just go. But little do I know is that, like, you listen to somebody like Hormozy, he says his testing ground is Twitter, and he'll post 1 trillion times on Twitter, things that are good on Twitter, good ideas that hit, people resonate with. He'll put them to shorts, and then he'll stack them together, make YouTube type of informational type of things. Gary, I see him, he's posting 1 to 2 times a day, but never made sense to me. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, he has 160 people that work personally on his freaking team for his accounts, and he's like How much work is there to do? Like, how much can you do? But what he's doing is I heard him say it, he's probably posting somewhere between 50 and 100 times on a single platform, and they're on separate accounts that he's testing them on because he doesn't care about if something's going to go. If something's good, it'll go. Like, if something's good, it doesn't matter what account posts it because that's just how the algorithms are.
That's true, yeah.
Like, it just,
Yeah.
if it's good, it goes.
You could have a low follower account and it could go viral easily.
Yeah.
If it's the right thing.
So
yeah.
it's like he said he posted something a couple days ago, and it was one of the only things that he's posted in a while that they haven't tested because he liked it. And I was like, what? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, bro. Gary, man, I used to consume Gary's content day in, day out, bro. I fucking love him, bro. When I met him, I cried. Like, he was a really big inspiration into everything I was doing.
You
at
got
the time.
V-Friends?
Huh?
You got a V-Friend?
No. Like, I actually kind of stopped watching his stuff. Not that I like stopped following him or anything, but I feel like at some point I just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
I like
didn't
to
watch-
see.
I do remember him saying years ago, like, my goal is not for you to be consuming. My goal is for you to take what I'm saying and like not watch my stuff. I don't know, but
yeah.
fuck that dude, bro.
Yeah, I like a lot of times I stay in touch with a few people that I think are like what you're saying. People that say I don't have it figured out. I don't have this shit figured out, because those are the people you could learn from. And I know he's in a very unique situation where watching what he does and what he's talking about, it's like when he says something, it seems like he's saying something to either portray, like make a good short form clip in that moment, or saying something that he's always said before. But if he says something, the context that he has, because he's in a position like nobody else, he's somebody that's putting out content as a CEO of one of the biggest media companies in the world, and he has all the data. Nobody else has data like he has, and he's speaking the same language as us. So like we can have a conversation with him. His context for everything that's going on is through the roof of what's going on. And I think what a lot of people miss with him is that point. And then they also miss the fact that they'll look at his YouTube and say, yo, this is terrible. Like, you're not, like you think you're good and you're not doing anything. Or they'll look at his Instagram or TikTok or whatever. But it's like, he has a 2,500 person media company where he's working with big brands, spending probably over $1 billion in ad spend a year, and he gets all of that data. People like that are very interesting to me, that they could say something, it's a completely different weight. Same thing with like a Hormozy, but nobody's in the position as Gary is. And if he's gonna say, like, things are changing every day. Watching what he does, he's only posting 1 to 2 times a day. I'm still gonna do me, but that's interesting. And then you see Hormozy do it. That's interesting. All right, Gary, you're obsessed over the pictures right now, just like literally squares, white backgrounds, a weird pig in the front, and he'll do like freaking words with his signature, and he does it over. And you kind of see, okay, is this like testing? Is this something that he's been doing over and over again? That affects me. When he does 2-prong carousels, the way he's been doing them, that affects me. When he used to do a lot like long carousels, that affects me. And then I also look at NBA. I look at NBA, House of Highlights, Bleacher Report. I look at like these people know what they're doing. Like there's certain people that are like, they have a lot of data and they all know what they're doing, and they all do kind of similar things. Back to what you're saying, you could kind of learn from what these big, like, they're successful doing what they're doing. They're successful, and just interesting seeing the next chapter stuff. You're saying like, yeah, they know what they're doing. They're good. A lot of people, they do the top is a horizontal, like of the first part of an Instagram carousel. The top is horizontal, then it's 2 blocks, and it's a title in the middle. There's something interesting about that like that does go. That works. Sometimes an arrow pointing to something with the title, boom. By any means, by any means.
Yeah,
And he's not that good, but he does weird shit where he'll flip it, where he'll do the thumbnail of the carousel in the second post, and he'll do the video in the first post. And because sometimes you see the second post, and sometimes his go, and it like messes with my brain that he does that. But there's so much to it of like, people are actually, I do agree that nobody has it figured out, but then there's some people that are like, they kind of do have some things figured out, and it's
Yeah.
like, what are they doing? And it's like,
Yeah.
not to
The,
copy
the
it, but
truth is, it's always changing. So everybody is trying to figure it out. But I do see what you're saying with the data as well.
it does. It is always changing. Like it just everything is so fascinating to me. I question: should I be posting 100 times a day and not 2 times?
The crazy
a day?
thing with AI and algorithms and just AI in general, do the companies even know?
No, they have no idea. The CEO of Instagram has no idea what's going on. Whenever he puts out a post saying some type of advice, it's the opposite, and he might know, and he's just deliberately saying the wrong shit. He has no idea what's going on. I love when people reference him. He doesn't know shit. He talks about the wrong shit constantly, or things that he cannot possibly know on such a uniform scale, like he's talking about it on.
This is actually a thing.
Yeah, the Instagram is he the CEO of
Who?
Instagram? Yeah, he's the CEO of Instagram.
I don't know.
He's a guy that wears glasses, and he like there's a certain portrayness of like he's the CEO of Instagram, and he talks about
Isn't Mark Zuckerberg the CEO of Instagram?
Meta, Instagram.
Yeah.
But
I know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I've seen one of his posts before about like, if you want your reels to do better numbers, reply to a lot of your comments, and it might not like spark your numbers right away, but look back, 7 to 10 days from now. Like I did see.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, though. I've seen some of his stuff now that you're saying that.
I looking at like what people are doing, something that during the Olympics when the USA men's Olympics
Reaction videos.
Well, they would post the same. I remember it was very deliberately. It was Bama. It was LeBron alley-oop pass to, or Bam Adebayo alley-oop pass to LeBron. They posted that same exact piece of content 3 times in a 45-minute window on the same exact page. But then there's some people that are like, oh, only post 1 to 2 times a day. They're posting the same exact piece of content in 3 different ways in the same 45-minute window. And there's like,
They're
back to what
capitalizing.
you're saying, how do you like take over? Like, how do you take over? Like, why can they do that? And why can't we do that? Why can't I do that? Why can't the Good Drill account do that? And I'm just like, why not do that? Because they crush. Like, who are the biggest accounts? House of Highlights. They post 80 times a day, 12 times a day. NBA, they post a bunch of times a day. Like, I think about this because it's similar to what you have with Next Chapter. I have my accounts and Bobby has his accounts and we're doing this stuff on YouTube. But we also have like the Good Drill account and there's like a separate brand that's going on. So there's like a similarity here where it's like you're you, but then you have Next Chapter and you want to build Next Chapter to be a one-on-one league. We have Good Drill, and the long-term thing that can happen with Good Drill in our head is like an overtime type of vibe where it's like more about the content and me and Bobby can kind of phase out of it a little bit and you're kind of building this big brand.
Maybe that's your answer, though. You're saying long term, but then you're talking about like, why can't this account do this? Like maybe it really is just like patience and continuing to do that over a long period of time. To gain that respect and gain that what people are coming to you for. Like what's differentiating yourself from that? Because I definitely see like something like that being possible for sure.
Yeah. It's all interesting. It's science. People don't know.
Great stuff. Good stuff to stay on brand.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks for your time, man. And I really appreciate all your work. Keep doing your thing, and good luck with the one-on-one league. I'm excited, man. I want to
I'm pumped.
Thank you so much. It's a year and 11 months old, and I know 10 to 15 years from now, you guys will know all about. I mean, obviously you know about it now, but like people will know all about it.
I'm sure.
I believe you.
I believe you.
I'd put
For
money
all
on
the
you.
right reasons. For all the right reasons. So you can come back and you can check the tape.
Dope.
I got to make sure I got to follow right now. I don't follow that account.
That's all right.
Thanks for taking the time. Oh, let everybody know where they can find you and the league.
Yeah, you can find me on all socials, Devontae Friga or D Friga, DFRIGA. And Next Chapter, common spelling. The Next Chapter on Instagram's Next 22 Chapter. We need to get that changed, but it's kind of just been the same thing, so don't want to disrupt it. But yeah, and then on YouTube, same thing. All socials, all platforms, Devontae Friga and or The Next Chapter. Fuck the and/or, the next chapter. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys having me on here. I always really enjoy speaking to other communities, other audiences that may not be tapped in, that may be tapped in. So always appreciate hopping on and being able to speak my piece on certain things and even just answer some questions. Some really good questions. Some good questions for sure.
Thank you, man. We will be tapped in. Talk soon. Appreciate your time. You're always welcome back.
All right, man. Thank you guys so much. Text me, bro. All right.
I'll text you. Yep. Sounds good.
Cool. All right,
Later.
guys.